So in one of my previous videos, I showed how I installed a side potentiometer on my Turnigy transmitter in order to control the brushless gimbal that I have on my quad, so that I could control the tilt of the camera. Cole, a subscriber, asked a very good question. What are the settings in the radio to allow that control to happen? I ripped apart the radio, showed you how to set up this fancy little side pot piece here, but he's right. I did not go into detail on how to set up the transmitter. So today I figured I'd show how I set up the transmitter in order to control the brushless gimbal, and what kind of wiring that takes and what I did. Alright, so here we're looking at the 450. On this 450 I installed a Banggood brushless gimbal. That gimbal is the cheapest gimbal I could find online. It's just the 2-axis, which means it has roll and pitch. Now what I set up on the transmitter was so that I can control the pitch while flying. Now in order to do that, every gimbal that you buy has the board. I shouldn't say every, but the controller board for the gimbal. If it comes with a controller board, every controller board should have a spot where you can hook up servo leads. Those servo leads will be labeled, if you look at the directions, which one's for pitch and which one's for roll. I of course chose the pitch one. I ran that servo lead through and directly to my receiver for my controller, for my transmitter. The receiver I'm using is a FreeSky V8 FR2 high voltage. Anyway, that's not the important part. The most important part is that I took the servo lead and plugged it in to port 7. So channel 7 here, if you can see that, let's get a closer view. So channel 7 here, they're all labeled. Channel 7 has the servo lead that leads to the pitch control of the brushless gimbal. So on the transmitter, we're going to go through the menu and I'll show you exactly what we need to click. So let's start from the home page. If you just click over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you get to the mixer page on 511. The first one is throttle, the second one is aileron. So that's how I have it set up. That controls each channel is what's being controlled here. So what we need to do is go to the channel 7, because that's what we have it plugged into. On channel 7 you will see that I have it set to 100% in P2. So P2 was originally, let me show you this, P2 was originally this knob here, potentiometer 2. But we disconnected that and I put the potentiometer number 2 over on the side. So in order to do that, if you have any questions, you can look at my other video on how to do that modification. But in order to change these things, it's pretty simple. You just go back down through the menu. Let's zoom back into the menu. Once we get to this channel, the mixer channel, we can go down and select whatever we need. Once we're at channel 7, just move it over or hit enter. Sorry, channel 7 at 100%. I'm going to move it to 100. There we go. Then I can hit menu and it goes into channel 7 and the source. You can change that source from P1, P2, aileron. You can change it to anything you want. I've changed it to P2. Once you get it to P2, go ahead, hit off, and then scroll back down to make sure it's correct. As we go down, channel 7 should be, yes, at 100% P2. That will control channel 7, which then controls the pitch of the brushless gimbal. Alright, Cole, thanks for the question. I hope that helped. Guys, I appreciate any questions you have. Feel free to ask me anything. That's what I'm here for. I really do appreciate the questions, the comments, and the likes. But most of all, I appreciate the subscriptions. So please, press that subscribe button. You guys are great. You're awesome. Keep flying.